Hey guys, welcome back. So we've now completed the digital forms and we'll move on to the PDF forms. Before we begin, we can see that IMM 5262 is incomplete, but that is not required for inland spousal sponsorship because when you applied for your TRV, you had already given your travel history to IRCC. So we can just move on to 1344, which is the application to sponsor, sponsorship agreement and undertaken. So you can download the latest version of the form from the portal or guide 5289. Once you download the form, just save it in a folder and open it on Adobe Reader on your computer. So I have downloaded the form from here and saved it, and once we open it, we can fill it out. So the IMM 1344 is a form for the sponsor. So the sponsor is to fill out this with majority of their information and some details of the principal applicant. And for me, I was the principal applicant and my wife was the sponsor. So let's begin. So part one of the form is application to sponsor and undertaken. So if you are found ineligible to sponsor, indicate whether you want to withdraw the application or proceed with the application. So obviously if you're ineligible to sponsor, then you should select withdraw. So your processing fees will be refunded minus the processing fee. For language, select English. Is there a co-signer on this application? So the co-signer does not apply to spousal sponsorship, so no. Person you are sponsoring, principal applicant. So you'll put the name of the principal applicant, the person being sponsored, and just put the name as per the passport. So a common question is some people do not have their first or last name on their passports. So what do you do then? So if passport does not have the last name, just enter your first name, your given name in the family name cell, since that's a required cell, and leave the given name cell blank. And if your passport does not have a first name, then naturally just enter your last name in the family name cell and leave the given name blank. But if you have both, then just enter both. Then enter your date of birth, and then the principal applicant is your spouse living in Canada. So here there are multiple options. So for common law, it's this option, and then for spouse, it's spouse living in Canada, spouse living outside Canada, and then there's spouse living in Canada applying under family class. So the difference is, we can see that on guide 5289. So it says apply under family class if the person you want to sponsor lives outside Canada, the person you want to sponsor currently lives with you in Canada but doesn't plan to stay in Canada while the application is being processed. And then another couple of points. But apply under spouse or common law partner in Canada class if the spouse lives with you in Canada and has a valid temporary residence status. So if your condition or your situation is simply this, then spouse living in Canada will apply to you. And then after this, the second part is sponsor's personal details. So again, the same, just enter the name as per the passport. Have you ever used any other name? If it applies to you, then select yes. The gender, date of birth, place of birth, status in Canada. At the time I got sponsored by my spouse, she was a permanent resident, so I selected permanent resident here. And the date on which she became a permanent resident, and the UCI and client ID. So that can be found on the COPR or PR card, and I'll just show that how it looks. So the COPR looks something like this, and you can find the UCI here, and then also the PR card, the ID number should be the UCI. Moving on, so full name at the time you became a permanent resident, same as your current full name, so just select yes. Your current marital status should be married for spousal sponsorship, and the date on which you got married, so just enter the date or whatever date is on the marriage certificate, and the name of your current spouse. So this will be the principal applicant's name. Right. Then, have you previously been married or in a common law relationship? If yes, you can provide the name of your previous spouse for the sponsor's previous spouse. Then the third section is sponsor's contact information. So list the residential address if there is no separate mailing address, and then just select yes for residential address being same as mailing. Then all important thing to note here is that it says all correspondence will go to this address unless you indicate an email below. So do make sure to provide an email, because all the the AOR goes to the sponsor's email, and if you don't provide the email, then the all correspondence or all documents will come physically by mail. But if you provide an email, then it will just come to your email. And yeah, so the AOR comes to the sponsor, so make sure to provide an email for the sponsor. Then put in the telephone number. Then there's sponsor's residency declaration. So are you a Canadian citizen living exclusively outside Canada? See who can sponsor in the guide for information on residency. So this was no for my situation, since my wife was a PR at the time. Then comes the eligibility assessment. So these are questions just to determine whether the sponsor or your spouse is eligible to sponsor you. So just answer these questions. So it says here, if you answer no to any questions from 1 to 4, you are not eligible sponsored, so do not submit your application. So all the answers should be yes. Then if you answer yes to question 5 and you are sponsoring a spouse, you are not eligible to be a sponsor and should not submit your application. So again, this question says, in the 5 years preceding this application, did you become a permanent resident after being sponsored as a spouse, common law, or conjugal partner? So if your sponsor or your spouse themselves were sponsored by their previous spouse and 5 years haven't passed, then they are not eligible to be a sponsor for you. So if that's the case, then do not submit the application. So your answer to this should be no. Then, have you submitted a previous application for which final decision has not been made? So your answers for all of these should ideally be no. And for question 7, specifically it says, are you in receipt of a social assistance for reason other than disability? So a student loan or EI is fine, but the sponsor should not be collecting welfare except for disability. So ideally, all of your answers from question 1 to 4 should be yes, and from 5 to 18 should be no. If you have answered yes to 13, 16, 17 or 18, then you can provide details in this text box. Once you're done with answering these questions, you can move on to just digitally signing this form. So this form has to be digitally signed, and that means that you don't need to print and sign the form. So you can just type the name as per the passport. And then as per regulations, the sponsor themselves have to type in their name. So make sure you do that. And then the principal applicant's name, again, as per passport. And once you're done with the signatures, click on validate. And then it will say validation completed successfully and generate barcodes. So, and this basically means that the form is now completed and can be submitted. And what you should do is, every time if you make a change, while you're double checking if you make a change, then click validate again. And then finally, before uploading, just double check and then save and upload the form on the PR portal. You do not need to label it in any specific way. So if we go to the portal, you can just click on upload here and then select the form. Just label it IMM 1344, whatever the label is when you downloaded it, and then just upload it and you're done. Alright guys, this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did find value, please make sure to drop a like and a comment, and I'll see you in the next one where we'll fill the 5532. Thank you.